Abusafa yimre ye mamu nyina jo onwuna jo no nsia pɛ mo bra so se YouTube anyimre kase boy de brɛ mo no ye de brɛ ka se ukɔ abɛ fontintan so Facebook YouTube Ghana on sabekan o sanso na YouTube so on sabekan ho sanso na nyuma ko bia bo so ya sin se yemfa ensem yemre mo this we talk leading unya bia eboa pa sanso na nsuo de special mineral water sanso na best point se sikasem na ade bia odan oni kirewa eno so boa pa ma sikasem tutu no ade a etumi ekoyi pa nyime ya tenase a ye de nsemi ebremo na ensem no etipo no ebi ni se
aban atremu se o de hye pa nwotwe na eba beboa ewo man mu ama ye dwadi hu nsem atumi afa ne ntoma pa afra
sanso na eye akwamasika nsem mu no aban akire se Obeng tutu bia se ne be ya covid nsem a ebedan o my Ghana ema esikasem eto ape no ne nyina obehye ne yie
sanso wo 2021 budget nsem a ekoso ene dai no aba beda di se o man ye ka ye de ne emu apagapa akwakotu 291.6 billion.
Sanso and aban kire se year of rose afia ye de ya kwan ne yi akwan ne ni no kwantimpon bi oni ade a awon body se no oman abekoso ahwe na ya kwan no ya ye ni yi
na ene omampanyin na Addo Akufo-Addo aye dwumade soronko e de mantam asoafo dunsia adwuma ahye wonsa
sanso na akwa amanone a oda woni eche Nigeria tifian na fufam so a nsem akwa kopio se nipa bonefo bi akwa akotiche school fo bi a na eye omo kwaye ho nsem a omo susu na ma ho no nipa beye aduasa nipa bonefo yi akwa akochire omo ye di nsem yi ebra midin edi Anim Addo ni aba
Obiyaa Adwoa Obiyaa Obeng ensam no emu enchechiremu enie aban echiremu a odede nhyehyɛ pa atofom enam so de nhyehyɛ be te se nwotwe na de agu fom a ba beboa ma oman yi ya dwadie hu nsɛm atumi afa ne ntoma pa afra na ene minister for parliamentary affairs o se mensa bonsu na ogina foto samfo anamu wo mrahye badwam de sansɛm we nyina to dwa wo kyeremu se saa nneɛma a wode ba to fom yi ba beboa wo covid-19 nsɛnsɛm mu ahohiahia brem no ba beboa pa ama yatumi afa ntoma pa afra.
Speaker, in addition to continuing our priority programs, we will implement additional initiatives to drive recovery. These include: 1, scale up the vaccination of Ghanaians to enable us to attain herd immunity in Ghana by the end 2021. Continue the implementation of Agenda 111 to provide hospitals and related infrastructure nationwide to improve the delivery of health care. 3, intensify efforts to improve public sanitation. 4, support to those who have lost their jobs due to COVID-19 to find other gainful employment opportunities. 5, deploying resources for our security agencies to maintain peace and security. Complete many of our ongoing infrastructure projects within our resource envelope, reflecting the theme of the budget. The implementation of the Ghana Cares program to revitalize the economy and create employment. And 8, continue the implementation of our flagship programs, including Planting for Food and Jobs, the Free Senior High School, and the One District, One Factory agenda, plus the One Village, One Dam agenda.
Yet also ne da ho ewo mrahye bedwa mo man yakwa mo sika ho ensem no na osofo no de ensem no atudwa eno kire se covid yare no aba be ha my Ghana pa yare sabia ene vaccine ho ensem aba no nyina sikasem enti sabre omo de hihye bi aba sabre oman no be gisika kakrakra aboa se ne be ya yesi yare sabia na vaccine so ye wo oman ma na ho sika ntoto yesem no atumi akoyie.
COVID-19 pandemic has caused additional health spending that far exceeds the annual budget for health. Some of the actions that are being implemented by government to address this pandemic include: 1, procurement of vaccines. The first batch of 600,000 doses from the COVAX facility as of already related to have already been delivered. An additional 17,600,000 vaccine doses to be delivered by June, with more to come in the course of the year. Vaccination of Ghanaians as at Wednesday, 10th of March 2021, is 262,365 Ghanaians receiving the first dose of the vaccines. Establishment of 14 medical waste treatment facilities across the country for safe disposal of medical waste in collaboration with the private sector. 33 major health projects have been approved for implementation at a cost of 890 million euros. To date, 14,600,000 pieces of personal protective equipment, PPEs, produced domestically for health workers, students, teaching and non-teaching staff of tertiary and secondary educational institutions. Agenda 111 will see to the construction of 100-bed district hospitals in 101 districts with no hospitals, 7 regional hospitals for the new regions, including one for the Western region, the construction of 2 new psychiatric hospitals for the Middle Belt and Northern Belt, respectively, and the rehabilitation of the Ifiankwanta Hospital in the Western region. The need to recruit more health care professionals, in addition to the 100,000 recruited in the first term of the president. To provide the requisite resources to address these challenges and fund these activities, government is proposing the introduction of a COVID-19 health levy of 1 percentage point increase in the national health insurance levy and a 1 percentage point increase in the VAT flat rate to support expenditures related to COVID-19.
When Mashebedrum no honorable or Seche Mensabunsu or de Omen Yakon Sikasem, ever 2 Jan or the 2 justices say no, or may Yaka Aqua Nimupa Aqua could drew 291.6 billion. A fee one GDP, a gross domestic product, so no, a co aqua could piemo, aqua could drew a hamo, abu pen dumian, any a cheap one son, a year 13.7%.
The provisional debt stock as it ends December 2020 stood at a nominal figure of 291.614 billion, representing 76.1% of GDP, compared with 217.991 billion, equivalent to 62.4% of GDP in 2019. Mr. Speaker, the total debt stock mix was made up of a provisional figure of 141.780 billion for external debt and 149.83389 billion for domestic debt, accounting approximately for 48% and 51.4% of the total public debt stock, respectively. As a percentage of GDP, external domestic debt represented 36.99% and 39.09% respectively. Speaker, the total public debt has increased from 122 billion, that is 6.9 GDP, to 291.6 billion, that is 76.1% of GDP as at the end of December 2020. Included in the debt stock and the debt to GDP ratio at the end of 2020 are the following non-recurrent burdens that we had to deal with as a matter of urgency. 1, the fiscal impact of COVID-19 is 19.7 billion. The cost of the financial sector cleanup is 21 billion Ghana cedis. Cost of excess capacity charges paid to IPPs, that's 12 billion Ghana cedis. The impact of the reduction in growth from an average of 7% to 0.9% in 2020. Speaker, if these expenditures are excluded and the drop in GDP growth in 2020 primarily attributable to COVID-19 pandemic is taken into account, the total stock of debt for 2020 would have been approximately 239.9 billion, implying a debt to GDP ratio of 58.7%. Mr. Speaker, the following information is useful. Between 2004 and 2008, Ghana's debt stock increased by 30%. Between 2008 and 2012, the debt stock increased at 269%. Between 2012 and 2016, the increase in the debt stock was 243%. Between 2016, the increase in the debt stock was 137%. This includes the costs of the banking sector cleanup, excess capacity charges, and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Speaker, these are the facts according to the figures.
Yɛtɔ so ane da ho ɛwɔ mrahye bedwam ɔsoafo asabre ɔhwɛ ahyie sɛ ɔman Ghana yɛ photo sanfo honorable Sage Mensa Bonsu ɛsan ɛde to aso sɛ year of rose no anasa afia yɛyɛ ɔman Ghana akwan no ɛda ho egyina nanan mu a ɔbɔbɔ akwantempo bi din sɛ no ɛyɛ akwan bi a ɛho hia pa a ɔman mpanifo ɛbɛhwɛ na ɔmayi.
His Excellency the President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, in presenting the message on the state of the nation, declared 2021 at the second year of roads. Speaker, with this declaration, we will continue the prioritization of road construction. Government will continue to pursue the following ongoing projects that are at various stages of completion under the Sino-Hydro Master Facility. Speaker, the Accra Inner City roads, about 84 kilometers, the Kumasi Inner City roads, 100 kilometers, the Tamale Interchange project, which is about 60% complete, the PTC Roundabout Interchange project, Takoradi, Adenta Dodiwa Dual Carriageway, the Sunyani Inner City roads, 39 kilometers, Western Region and Cape Coast Inner City roads, 32.19 kilometers, upgrading of selected feeder roads in Ashanti and Western regions, construction of Hohoi, Jessica, Dodi Pepesu Road, 66.4% kilometers, which is 32% complete now. Mr. Speaker, government will also continue with some ongoing projects which have seen significant progress as follows. The Nsawam Apedra Road, the northbound Kwafu Krom Apedra Road, 33 kilometers, which is about 39% complete. Apedra Bunsu Road, 23 kilometers. The Bogatanga Boku Pomakum, 116 kilometers, which is 31% complete. The Nkwanta Oti Damanko Road, 50 kilometers, which is 54% complete. Oti Damanko Napanduri Road, 209 kilometers, which is 77% complete. The Berekum Saikwa Roads, 34.6% kilometers, which is 88% complete. The dualization of the whole main roads, totaling 10.5 kilometers, which is 55% complete. The Teshi Link Road, 7.5 kilometers, 77%. The whole Fume Road, 18.4 kilometers, about 93% complete. The Bolga Boku, from kilometer 12 to 24.5, a stretch of 12.5 kilometers, which is about 100% complete. The Wale Wale Road, 57 kilometers, is 55% complete. Roundabout between Ajisu and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, 87% complete. And the rehabilitation of the new Abrem of Fuasi Kuma Road, 38 kilometers, which is 15% complete. Mr. Speaker, in 2021, works are also expected to commence on the following major pipeline projects. Construction of the Dufo Adidome Asikuma Junction Road, 63.1 kilometers. That is construction of Dufo Adidome Asikuma, 63.1 kilometers. And the Asuchari, the Junction 39 Road, Anasushare Aveyemi. The interchanges there would also be constructed. The interchanges at Dufo, Adidomi, and Asukuma Junction will also, Mr. Speaker, will be done. Construction of bridge over the Volta River at Volivo. Construction of the Swami interchange will be done.
Yeah, that's why in budget 2021 ho nsensemu na honorable Oseche Mensa Bonsu and then so odia to just say a Mary plant yeah you know omo de beba bipiem e Kumase said be ya ebetumi aboa ama anyinam kanea ho nsensem yetumi atoto ne yie na atumi aboa man kanea no agina so da bia.
Energy. The Speaker, in 2020 the country had adequate generation capacity to meet the demand for domestic, commercial and industrial customers. The 200 megawatts Amandi power project was approximately 98% complete and currently at the last phase of commissioning. Phase 1A of the 400 megawatt early power project, 147 megawatts, that's the phase 1, is currently going through commissioning. In 2021, the Ameri plant will be relocated to Kumasi to help stabilize the national grid. Mr. Speaker, the power purchase agreement renegotiations aimed at reducing capacity charges and consequently the overall costs of power generation are ongoing. The third round of negotiations has commenced following the approval of recommendations submitted by the negotiating team. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, renegotiations were concluded with Senate Energy Limited, and discussions with AXA Energy Company Limited are nearing completion. Mr. Speaker, following the approval of the Polygu multi-purpose dam project by Parliament, pre-commencement activities as well as engagement of the owner's engineer to provide technical support to VRA to supervise and manage the EPC contract has commenced. Mr. Speaker, to strengthen our national grid, the following projects, which are various stages of completion, will continue in 2021. Lot 1, the Kumasi Kintampo of the 330 kV Kumasi Bolgatanga transmission line project is nearing completion. The 161 kV Volta Achimota Malam transmission line upgrade project has an overall works completion rate of 53% for the Volta Achimota section and 31% completion rate for the Achimota Malam transmission line. Remedial works on the Aboazi Prestia 330 kV transmission line is 90% complete, and construction works of the A4BSB Pokwasi bulk supply point is 92% complete. Mr. Speaker, other projects to be pursued in 2021 include the construction of a new substation at Dunkwa on a Fin, reconstruction of the overaged 161 kV transmission lines from the Aboazi through Dunkwa to Asarienso with higher capacity, and reconstruction of the existing 330 kV and 161 kV Aboazi switch yards. Mr. Speaker, a total of 388 out of the 560 communities were connected to national grid under the rural electrification program.
Ọ̀sán fọ́gùsọ àhwẹ́ UTV ẹ̀nwúmẹ́rẹ́ kásẹ̀bọ̀ a yɛde ẹ̀brọ̀m yɛtwẹ́ wọn aba ní agye nkrato ẹ̀bá a yɛbɛtọ́ so ẹ̀de kásẹ̀bọ̀ no abrẹ̀ mu.